Hey, it's Marcia, just out here at the park, and I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about my first introduction to homeopathy. I was running my own practice in Houston, which was rapidly becoming holistic as I was becoming more and more disillusioned with conventional medicine. So, I also had two babies at home. I was exhausted, and I saw an advertisement for a CE conference in Miami, Florida. And frankly, I just needed to get away for the weekend on a tax-free holiday. So I signed up. I knew nothing about homeopathy, and that was the topic of the CE conference. So that night, I was sitting in the bar at the hotel, eating my dinner, and listening very attentively to the table next to me, where there were 6 veterinarians avidly talking about their cases and curing things that I had been taught were incurable. It was fascinating, and I asked if I could join them, and they welcomed me to their table with open arms. So I sat there fascinated, just thinking, are they crazy? This isn't possible. So I spent the weekend listening to the most fascinating and energizing lectures I had seen in years, talking about cases that otherwise would be incurable, making advances in not only treating the symptom, but watching the entire animal emerge into a healthier, more active, more engaging pet. So I bought my first homeopathic repertory, which is how you decide what remedy to use, and we'll go into that in other lectures in more detail, and a 50 remedy kit, and went back to my practice. That Monday, we had our first emergency in a while. A fully pregnant female cat had been hit by a car, had a depressed skull fracture, and was bleeding from both of her ears and in a coma. The owners were financially limited in what they could afford. So I said normally I would put this animal to sleep. But I just went to this lecture. This is all new to me, but if you're willing to try, we're willing to try. And the owners signed a waiver, and we put a IV catheter in the kitty and started fluids as we would normally do, and started administering a remedy called arnica, which is for trauma, shock, and bruising. We gave that remedy every 15 minutes to start, and after an hour, 4 doses, we all stared in amazement as the kitty became sternal. She was holding her head up and looking around. After 2 hours, she was up walking. It's, kind of wobbly, but she was up and walking. After 4 hours, she laid down and gave birth to 4 perfectly normal kittens. At 6 o'clock, we discharged her to go home. And when she came back for her recheck on Friday, except for a little weakness on the right side, she was completely normal, and her kittens were also quite healthy. So, do you think that got my attention a little bit? Yeah, it did. And so we added homeopathy to our toolbox along with acupuncture and Chinese herbal medicine and nutrition, and we saw amazing results from that time forward. And so moving forward, what I'd like to do is start offering education to you as pet owners, especially shelters and rescues where we have limited funds, how to treat certain acute illnesses, injuries, with homeopathy safely, effectively, and hopefully avoid some of those giant vet bills at the emergency clinics. So stay tuned. Put some information in the comments about what you're interested in, whether you'd be interested in signing up for a class, and of course, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for listening.